Hey everybody, it's us again, Jessica
and Melanie
with J&M Table Chats.
Welcome back. Okay. No, but really, welcome back, guys. We are so happy to have you back for episode 5 of J&M Table Chats. So, we're going to get right into it because time is of the essence, and we know y'all have things to do, as do we. So, let's go. So, today we are going to speak about our parenting styles in our home with our children, our boys, and how we feel about discipline, and how do we feel like the way that we're raising them, how is that going to determine their future or show them values to have or to hold in their future. So, go ahead, Jessica. You can start this one.
Well, I'm a firm believer in discipline and a lot of the old school techniques because they are what works. A lot of people say that these new generation kids are different, that they're all over the place, that they're crazy, they're wild, it's just a different generation, we should just get used to it. I call baloney.
Yes, BS.
The only thing that has changed are the parents, and the parents not believing in discipline.
Yes.
That's my perspective on it. I've witnessed it. I know I worked at a school with younger children, and they were all pretty privileged children. And some of them were, I could tell the difference between the ones who had structure at home and the ones who were just like, oh, we don't believe in saying no. Oh, we don't believe in any kind of physical contact with our children. Or, we believe in allowing them to have choices and options.
That's fine. That's all fine and dandy. If they know that the choice they make is going to impact my reaction, then that's fine.
Because
no, you cannot. That's being way too lenient. Like,
kids need structure. They need
absolutely.
Guidance.
I understand you want to give your child a learning experience. Let them teach themselves. But in some situations and under some circumstances, that's not going to be the way that you need to react. Like, I can see, like, oh, you know what? He's pouring a bowl of cereal. Let me just step back and watch behind the scenes and see if he can do it or spill it. That's fine. Those are the things that, sure, let them make that choice.
Yeah.
And show them exactly how to have independence. But when it comes to, hey, my son at, I don't know, whenever he's like 14 or 13, my son wants to have 3 girlfriends and put his studies on the back burner and do as he pleases. Oh, but he's making those choices and he's going to learn. What's he going to learn? What
he's gonna learn how to get a chick pregnant real quick, I can tell you that much.
Thank you. You took the words out of my mouth. Exactly right. You cannot be that lenient with your children. Yeah, sure. There's a thing between letting them have their own choices, but there's also boundaries within those choices.
Yes.
You
and
can't
need
just
your guidance. And
yes.
need your direction
Yes.
because you have the wisdom that they don't have.
Yes.
Yes,
absolutely.
they may find the new generation. I give them that because they're raised in a generation with all the technology and the advancements. They have different ways of doing things, and sometimes their ways are probably better than the old school ways, and that's fine when it comes to certain things. But when it comes to discipline and structure in your house, there's a standard foundation of rules and morals that you should raise your kids in if you want them to be good humans in society, like good functioning humans in society, and contribute. Not like, let me go. Example. There's people I will not call out, who I know that are adults now, and they can't seem to get their life together no matter what. They're 30, still living at home, and not because they're trying to get their life together, but just because they're comfortable with it, because why need to chase anything more?
Yes.
All they were taught was, go fool around, go drinking and dancing, and just go make a paycheck and come home. Like, they don't know, life goals, they don't know how to chase their dreams. They don't have any direction to put their energy in the right areas, not always in the bad areas. And so, you can communicate with your kids. That's one thing that I think old school teaching didn't do, but if you can
Yeah.
blend them, like, for example, there's always consequences. You may get spanked, you may get grounded, you may get something taken away. There's going to be a consequence to your action, but then I'm going to sit down and talk with you
and make
and
sure
be like,
you understand
what
the
did you
action
do
was.
that why did you get in trouble?
Exactly.
Why can't you have your Nintendo DS? Why can't you do this or why can't you do that? Oh, because I did this. Do you think that was smart? Oh, no, I don't think that was smart, da-da-da. Why? What could you have done differently?
Yeah.
So get them, you're still doing critical thinking, but you're still enforcing that there are boundaries and there are consequences to your actions.
Absolutely.
Which is huge, because then you see these 21-year-olds getting arrested left and right because they think, oh, they don't have to listen to nobody because that's how they were raised.
They weren't shown that. That's
Exactly.
the thing. That's a huge thing I feel that is very lacked in today's society, is that a lot of these kids don't have respect. Like, I would be damned if I went to the store with my mom and somebody asked me a question and I gave them a dirty look and was like, none of your business.
Exactly.
My mom probably would have
backhanded so
literally,
fast.
exactly, thrown me across the damn store if I answered like that. Like, respect was so huge, and it should be still so huge in your home, because the way that you show your kids to respect their other peers, to respect you as their mother and as a woman, to respect their elders, and just like an overall, there's so many different forms and aspects within that, you know, realm of respect, that if you don't show them, they're gonna be ungrateful brats or think that they're entitled.
Yes.
Like, no, you can't do that. And there's a huge difference, I feel, between helping your kids, like lending a helping hand, like, hey mom, I can't do this, can you help me, blah blah. Fine. But there's also a difference between enabling them. Enabling meaning you let them live free willingly. You do nothing to push them. You just, you know, oh, they're like this because, you know, they lost their job, or
No.
oh, they're like that because, you know, they don't have a lot and they're just going, no, like, you can't do that. You're going to enable your child, then he's going to expect that from the next woman that comes in his life when you're gone, and you can no longer be of support to him.
And he won't know how to be a man.
Exactly.
Or
he
independent.
won't. That's a thing. That's a huge thing. I feel like the more you enable them and baby them, they're not going to learn how to be a man, how to respect women, and if anything, they're going to look at women like that they're entitled to be respected by them, but not give that respect back. No. I will refuse to have that. I do not instill that in my son. I tell him, you respect everybody. I don't care if that person is 3 years younger than you. So if it's a 3-year-old, you respect them. Plain as day. Doesn't matter the age. Doesn't matter mother, woman, sister, cousin. I don't care who it is. Respect them. Simple. I didn't teach you to talk back. You don't talk back. I told you to be kind and have manners and say hi and say hello.
Be polite.
Be polite.
Open the doors. Help
Exactly.
somebody that you see needs help with something.
That's exactly what we're trying to instill in our boys, because I refuse to have an ungrateful child and a bratty child. Like, that's my biggest pet peeve, is when you go to anybody's home and their child is like totally talking back or totally doing, you're like, oh my god, I want to say something but I can't because I don't want to be rude or come off like, you know, I'm overstepping your territory and your however you raise your kid. So I just don't put myself in those situations because I know myself, and I'm like, how are you talking to her?
Exactly.
I'm like, no, I don't care.
Call your kids out, please.
Yes.
If you are out somewhere,
Yes.
nothing irks me more than when you see your kid doing something that you know they should not be doing, or you see them being a brat to another kid, or pushing another kid, or taking a toy from another kid. Correct your kid.
Yes.
I shouldn't have to come in or look at you and be like, are you gonna tell him like that's not okay?
Yeah.
Because if it was my son snatching a toy out of your kid's hand and telling him no, I would have been like, no, Dominic, you know better than that.
Yeah.
You need to give that back, apologize, and if you want something, ask for it.
Yeah, I'm the same way with Adrian. If he is playing with something and somebody else wants to play with that, Adrian, how long have you been playing with this toy? Okay, It's time to pass it on. Sharing is caring, and that is what we say all the time in this house. Sharing is caring. Don't forget, because I'm like I said, no, he cannot be selfish, and you have to know what's right from wrong. And if we don't teach them that, then nobody's gonna know. They're not gonna just teach themselves. Yeah, they'll learn things.
Doesn't teach them,
but they're not gonna be like, oh yeah, you know, I don't want to share this because, you know, it's mine, and that's it.
Exactly.
No, there's less fortunate people in this world, and you are, you know, fortunate enough to have some of the things you have. So if somebody wants to play with it, share it. What's the problem? It's not going anywhere. At the end of the day, it's gonna go home with you. So what? why can't you share what is your reason? Like, no, absolutely not. That is so important to me.
Another thing is teaching your kids self-discipline is something I'm learning as an adult now, but it's definitely good to, why not start your kid off young? You know what I'm saying? Like, start them off young and be like, okay, you know, you want this, that's fine, but there's things you gotta do to get this.
Yes.
Give them like a
chore chart,
educate, what do you call that? I guess a learning chart or something. Give them something, some motivation. So it's like you can get them in the habit of wanting to practice, you know, exercising their brain. I tell my son all the time, I'm like, you know, you feed your body with food, but how are you going to feed your brain? And he's like, what? And I'm like, feed your brain. You got to feed it. It doesn't eat like physical things, but you got to read, you got to write, you got to practice certain things to feed your brain so that you can be smarter, because you don't want them to be superficial either, which is this generation. Like, it's all about social media and everyone looking, you know, as sexy as possible, as young as possible, and it's just a superficial
making a living out of that particular thing, instead of making a living with that too, but with actually having something to back up with it, not just only relying on your sexuality or your personality or your looks or who's gonna get you through that next door. Like, at least have something like, I may be beautiful, I may be fine, I may post this and that, but I'm also really smart too.
And there's depth to you as a human being.
Yes. It's not just a physical aspect. Like, you can have a good conversation and have a huge, like, intellectual one, and not be bored with the person. Not only talk about one little thing that you may like because that's the only thing. No. Like, no. So I feel exactly like you said, make them want to be smart, learn, encourage them to do all those types of things so that they can know that, I can get all this, but it's with this work. It's not just going to happen.
They can't just daydream about it and then go sit down and play video games and it's just going to magically happen. You have to teach them that if you want that, okay, break it down to what do you have to do to get there. And kids are so smart.
Oh my god.
If you sit, I love having conversations with my son because it's like sometimes he shocks me.
Yes.
Like, I'll talk to him and I'll ask him things, or he'll randomly come up to me and be like, Mommy, what did he say to me this morning? He was like, told me something scientifically. He's like, oh, do you know that a star, you know that there's 100 billion stars in the sky? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, they're like little tiny explosions. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah. So I'm like, sometimes they shock you with information they know, but when you start to get them in the habit and make it fun and exciting to learn things, and that even when they do get in trouble, if you teach them to look at it as, well, learn this lesson from it and you don't have to get in trouble anymore.
No, I agree 100%. That's so important. Like, and I feel I can even say that I'm guilty of this, that it gets frustrating, you know, sitting there having to teach, and your patients, we're so thinking like, how are you not understanding this?
Thank you, ABC Mouse.
Yeah.
Because you on point with them.
But I feel like you have to take time and learn how your child likes to learn.
Exactly.
Like with Adrian, I've learned that singing things to him makes him remember it more because he loves music, he loves dancing. Oh yes. So it picks it up more. Like for the longest time, like, Adrian, you gotta learn how to spell your last name because his mom was super Hispanic and I had to give him 2 last names. so
I was like, well, my other last name is Vasquez. Yeah. I'm like, yes, but you don't have to write that one every time.
Yeah. So I you know, it is a longer last name and it's unfortunately his last name is Ramirez. So that is not just a short, like, 4-letter last name like mine. That's just Leon, L-E-O-N, 4 letters. No, and my poor child, has to learn how to spell the whole thing. So I learned that he wasn't getting it. No matter how many times I showed him how to write it, no matter how many ways I tried. So I just started singing. I was like, R-A-M-I-R-E-Z. And then that's how he learned how to spell Ramirez. And now every time he's writing, I literally will hear him like, So he remembers the letters. So Leon, he's like, L-E-O-N, boom, done, easy. But that Ramirez, boy, he was having trouble. So, like I said, learn your kids' learning styles. Be patient with them. That's something I still have to work on because
we all have to work on
that. I have no patience with that. So it's like that's something that I'm trying to teach myself to have more of too. But also trying to show him things in the way that he likes to learn, so that he can grasp it and not only just tell it to him, but he understand what I'm saying. So,
and that comes from taking the time to learn your kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people just, and people brush kids off like they're stupid, or people brush kids off like, oh, they don't understand, they don't know. They understand and they know a lot more than you think they do. When I was working once at the another facility with kids, there was one little girl who was her parents were going through issues, and her mom would always discuss like what was going on in the relationship between her and the father all the time.
It's his problem.
And, exactly. And the little girl would come to me, and she was so sweet, but she would come to me and she'd be like, you know, mommy said that daddy did da, or daddy and said mommy da, whatever. And she knew a lot more information. She knew daddy was going to a hotel. She knew daddy was having drinks. She knew mama had a new boyfriend in the house the other night. I was like, and they were 4 years old.
Yeah. No,
not even. They were almost 4.
I think that's the thing that people fail to realize, that your kids at that age, at our child's age, like Dominic's 5, Adrian is 6. Oh, Dominic's 6? Okay. At our kids' age, our boys are both 6, and I feel from that 4 to continuous, but especially like 4 to 6, 4 to 7 range, they still have innocence in their head, and they're still so innocent, so pure, and I feel it's so easy to corrupt their mind with negativity. And the last thing I want my son to feel is either A, that it's his fault that anything had happened, or anything happened that, you know, in the past, or B, just have a negative mindset all the time. So why would I share my frustrations with my child who, 1, he has nothing to do with it. 2, he's way too young to even give a damn or should even care. Like, no, I'm not gonna put that pressure on my son and make him feel some type of way or make him feel bad about things that have nothing to do with him. And it's such a time where you can mold them into, you know, intelligent little beings and show them the best things in life or the things that you want to work towards, and not feed them and fuel them with negative things. Same thing with giving your kids too much access to the internet and the outside world. I feel like my son, he'll have a lot of screen time. He has his own tablet, whatever, every freaking kid does. But
and there's nothing wrong with it. Technology, we want them to be more advanced.
Yes,
yeah.
But I make sure I'm always watching what he's watching. And making sure if I hear one bad word come out of any video, I'm like, change it now. Like, I don't
anything
need
that teaches them to be disrespectful.
Yes, I'm like, what are you watching? No, change it. Boom. Like, you have to be on top of it. Yeah, give them, I understand, we need a break. It's like, here, take your tablet, go sit down, whatever. But always have a listening ear and monitor exactly what they're putting into their head and what their brains are being fed with, because you'll get to a point you're like, where'd you learn this and this and this and that? I don't know. Maybe on the games that I just play in my free time and nobody knows about. Like, no, that's not gonna. I'm not gonna be in that situation. I refuse to be in that situation.
I refuse. It's our job to help our children reach their maximum potential. So it's like whatever you see, even at this age. I want to say it's Germany, and I could totally be wrong. There's another country somewhere over there that what they do is when the kids are younger in the school system, they don't do like our school system is like it puts everyone in a box, and so it's kind of like, you know, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, you learn this, and then they just like robots, and you just go out. Like, there's no customized learning, at least not in the public schools. Yeah. So I saw that in the other country, which I want to say is Germany, that the kids, whatever they show interest in, like some kids like bugs, some kids like building, some kids like, they're just fascinated with stars and space and whatever. Encourage that. Whatever it is that they're drawn to, like Adrian loves dancing and he loves singing, and I could see him being an actor, or I could see him being something in the music career, dancing, anything. So the more you push them and encourage them in that gift that they're born with, because this is the most purest form of it. It's not like they saw something and they're like, oh, I want to do that because I think that looks cool. They're genuinely, like, you can catch their main focus of passion while they're young and innocent. And encourage it.
Don't discourage them. Don't be like, oh, don't do that because they're going to laugh, or don't do... No, let them make a fool of themselves. Let them be free. Because once you fill their head with that, like, oh my God, don't do this because this person may be watching. Oh my God, your friends are gonna say this. Nope. Just let it be. Let it be. Let it happen. Sit back and enjoy it. They will learn how to adjust their own craziness throughout the way.
Oh, yes.
But enjoy it. Enjoy that goofiness while it lasts, because it's just like, is. It goes so fast.
I love it so
like
much.
Today, we're gonna go see Adrian perform in his talent show. What is he doing? Dancing. Well, he said he may change his talent, but I'm telling you, this kid, I don't know. He's going to practice with something. But they have a talent show, and I've just been like, oh, you want to practice? Okay, let's listen to music and practice. Like, just encouraging to do it instead of like, oh, you're not scared? You're not nervous? Like,
no, don't put your fears on them.
I hate that because it's just like me in my head. I'm like, oh my God, he has courage. Because
Yes.
man, I would not do it. But I'm like, I just sit back and like, yeah,
But that's
do it,
because
do
we
it.
didn't have the encouragement. Not saying we didn't have the encouragement, because we did. But now we can like constantly give them words of affirmation. Constantly like, you're so like with Dominic all the time. I'm like, you're just so smart. When he tells me things, I'm like, your brain is just growing. You're so smart.
Yeah.
Like you just gotta constantly encourage them, and
like,
it
reinforces that. It's like, oh yeah, my mom takes me
it
smart.
keeps
I'm gonna
them
work
confident.
harder.
Back in the day, people used to, you know, if you were overly confident, people would be like, oh, be more humble, be more humble. But it's like, you can be humble and confident at the same time. They're not being cocky. They're just being
thing. There's a difference between confident and cocky. Like, cocky's like, yeah, I know I'm the shit.
It's arrogant.
And being arrogant about it. Versus, oh, you know, I know
like,
my worth. I know I'm intelligent. Thank you for acknowledging that and noticing that. But I'm going to be humble about it too. I'm not going to be like, yeah, what? No.
Like, thank you.
Yeah, like, thank you so much for noticing, or thank you so much, I appreciate that encouragement. But not expecting it or feeling like you're better than anybody because you know more. That's the difference between that cocky and confident. But yeah, so my son has confidence. That was the whole point of that. So we are going to go see him do that. But again, I've over the week been encouraging, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to dance? Okay, well, move. Show me your moves. So encouragement is huge in this time of like of their life and their age, because of the fact that I feel the more they grow and the older they get, it's going to be more, you know, kids are cruel. Like, other kids are, you know, you never know how your kids are going to turn out. Thank God that in heaven, because of how to teach them. But kids can be so cruel, and I feel if you don't show them at home that it's okay to be you and okay to not be afraid to show who you really are because you're worried about what the next person is going to say, then you're just not going to be happy. So I feel walk with confidence. Somebody says something nasty about you, be like, okay, and keep it moving. Don't encourage their negativity. Make them just sit there and be like, oh, my comment didn't affect them. Make them think about what they just did instead of, you know, responding to it and letting them get that rise that they're looking for. So always teach them to walk with confidence, be happy with who they are, and just go from there. And you just learn and pave the way along the way.
Even with Dominic, when there was a phase that he went through in DPK, and he liked to wear everything mixed matched. 2 different shoes, 2 different socks, or if the socks were the same, they were probably like tube socks that come up to here from Christmas time in the middle of June. He liked to wear ski hats, sunglasses. But I would encourage his uniqueness, because I feel like I want him to be confident in himself. So whatever himself is, whatever his character is, or his personality is, whatever you love to do, be that. You don't have to be like something else to fit in. You don't need approval from other people either to validate you. Because it's so important,
especially kids that, you know, are parents who have girls. I feel it is so, like, I thank God every day. Like, yeah, I wanted to have a girl, you know, I wanted to be cute, but I didn't think in the long term like how difficult it is to raise a girl. And I am blessed that I have a boy. God knew what he was doing, because first of all, boys are just mama's babies. Like, and I love it. I love him at this age. He's cuddle. That's besides the point. But anyways, parents who have girls, I feel it is crucial to show them that they're beautiful. Crucial to show them that just how God made them, that He intends for them to be, that be happy within your own skin, because of the fact that this society shows you that you have to be a specific size and have specific size clothing and have big busts or big buttocks, and that's the only way that you're gonna look pretty or appealing, that beauty is more important than intelligence. Like, no. So I feel like, yeah, sure, they can see all this, but as long as they know in reality that your mind is going to get you a lot further than your body, it is so huge to teach them that at a young age, so that they know their self-worth growing up. Because if not, without that, I feel like you just want to look like the next person because you know no better. So I feel when it comes to having a girl, God bless you people that have one, because it is a challenge. But as long as you do it right and you know exactly you know, what you're doing, or obviously none of us know exactly what we're doing, but are there for your child every step of the way. I feel like you won't have an issue. You won't have to deal those, you know, tough times. But for those who just let their kids do whatever they want and let their girls have boyfriends at 13 years old, it's just like, you may want to rethink that, because
it's really sad. It's really sad. So the conclusion from today's video was pretty much our views and perspectives, how we believe in you should, you know, discipline, raise, give direction and structure to your kids, how we do it in our home, and, you know,
not saying
try to get the best outcome.
We're not saying we're the best parents.
No, and we're not
that
perfect by any
we know what the
means.
hell we're doing 24/7. No, there's mistakes. There's times where we're like, maybe I shouldn't have said that or did that or responded that way. But you're just human. Like, exactly, you're human, and just like you're teaching them, you're learning along the way too.
Yes.
So we're not saying that every parent has to be a great parent or you're failing. No, we're just saying, watch what your kids do, monitor them, encourage them, be there, spend time. Like, learn at the end of the day,
learn their personality.
Exactly, learn who they are, learn what they like, and just be there for them. Support at the end of the day and having love for them is the biggest thing you can give them as a parent. So, like she said, in conclusion, that's really all it is. Show your kids that you love them. Show them that you're supporting them in what they choose to do, and help them
help
them grow up. Help them learn and want to achieve something in life. Just don't take the back burner and let them learn by themselves. No, be there along the way.
And don't push them under the rug or to the side either, because they're very important. They could be the next president.
Yeah.
They could be the next Martin Luther of this generation. They could be the next who knows what of this generation.
Take time.
So
learn.
Raise them right.
Raise them correctly. Because at the end of the day, I feel like besides having a career, the most important job is being a mother.
Oh yeah, that should be
being
priority
a father,
over everything.
That should be your number one priority. So yeah, I understand sometimes you have to do this and not read a book, but find those loopholes. Find where you know that you can take some time from here and give more time to your kids. Because at the end of the day, not only one, are they going to thank you for being an excellent parent, always being there throughout their life,
they're gonna have your
but
back.
two, they're going to be such great and amazing people in the future. And like the next generation relies on how we bring our children up. So I feel like prioritize your children first above everything. Granted, we all have to make an income, we all have to live, but just make sure at the end of the day your child is there.
Thank you for watching today's episode of J&M Table Chats. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Melanie.
And we will see you next episode.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Same thing with, you know, giving your kid way too much access. Ooh!
Me too. I think it's the perfume I sprayed.
Yeah.
I was like dying over here for a second. I was like, that means